Neia Silva, my friend from Brazil. Pelo amor de Deus, tá legal. I finally have a real Brazilian in my flock, but you live in New York. We met, I think, 3-4 years ago already. You made an unbelievable impression on me. You are so vibrant, you're so bubbly. You take on challenges that a lot of people would go like, wow, there's a big challenge following your heart, following your love to New York, building
Yeah.
up a business there. You start to work with Lego Series Play. I know a little bit about you. I know that you're from Brazil, and my followers don't. So please, can you introduce yourself a little bit of who you are and what your passions and your loves are?
Of course. So thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I'm really happy to share a little bit of my history here, of my process also. And as Martin say, I'm Brazilian, so my Portuguese it's much better than my English, and then because of that, I'm always overthinking what I'm saying. So asking apologies here about my English already. So I'm a psychologist, and I think this influences a lot my practice because I bring this as a part of the process, and I'm also worked in human research for the last 10 years, 12 years in talent development, and I'm always thinking about how can I help people grow, how can I help people develop. So this is the most important thing that made me to look for a tool that I could join with my practice. That there was Lego Serious Play because I love to play as a personality process for me. I love to play everything that has a dice or dominoes or everything that I can connect with people and we can have fun together. And Lego is one of the tools that help me to do this. And New York, as Martin said, because my husband received a job offer. The funny thing is that we had never been in New York before and we just moved. And it was a whole adventurous process, and because of that I started to a new business because I didn't have the opportunity to work in human resources as soon as I get here, but then it started to grow and like organically, and this that oh my gosh, where am I right now? I
Hey,
am
and
right now
but you said you're a psychologist and you studied also Lego Series Play. Did you studied in Brazil or in the US?
in Brazil. I it was like three. I got in love and passionate about Lego Serious Play because I participated in a workshop in a company that I worked for before, and it was we are defining what was talent for us with Lego Serious Play. And first brick process, first building, I was in love with the method and I was thinking, I need to do this. I need to have this experience as facilitating, not only participating in programs like that. And I got 3 years following the process and saving money for it because in Brazil, in dollar, it's expensive. So I was following and learning about Lego Serious Play until I could have the certification.
Yeah, yeah. It is not the cheapest training around the block, but then again, apparently you make money of it now as well.
Oh yeah, and
It
it
was an
worth it. It worth
investment.
it. Every dollar.
Ah, good. Hey, and what do you do with Lego Series Play now?
Nice. So I'm a development consultant and I work as a career coach, and I make mentoring process. So I help people transition career, transition jobs, transition companies, and work in a self awareness process to find what is their strengths, what is their opportunities of development, their career goals, and from that we work with the identity workshop for identify what is the important. Also use to identify my motivators, what is the important thing for me to make decisions. And I use Lego in the process of mentoring and talking about career and career goals.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's for our audience, the Scrum Masters in this world, they often think, oh, we can only use it for retrospectives, but actually as a Scrum Master, you do so much more. And it's interesting the way you say that you can also find what is the reason that makes you tick. And that's not only with the developers in your team, but it's a very good tool in that point of view to align with the people that you work with, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And how
really
is it then in the career development? Because you
in
say
the
career development, right?
yes. Um, it was in human resources working with performance reviews. And once we finish the performance review, we need to set a plan. What we need to do to develop these capabilities, these behaviors for our company, and how we align that with the values of the company we have, with our mission. And I was always thinking about how people could connect with our missions and values as a company, and how we could organize this. It was like a puzzle because it's a complex thing. But I also did that individually. So I was helping people as we had, as you have this strength, and we could see on your feedback, in your evaluation, we can work on this and for other people. And then I started to getting so passionate about the process that people were growing from one evaluation of 1 year, one evaluation of other year, they were totally different because they evolved and they grew. So I think it was that helped me to work with career development.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. And it sounds like you do then individuals and you do teams, right?
Yes, I also have some team workshops. It's less than I have individually processed, but I'm starting to grow this right now. The group process to help groups work better, because I'm starting to work with psychological safety. That it's a huge concept in the workplace. How can teams collaborate better and perform better in a group? And Lego can help a lot. Lego Serious Play can help a lot with this.
How? You're
Yeah,
telling me there's a magic tool? It's a blue pill, it's a red pill. Take the blue pill and everything is fine. How does it work?
totally. And
With some
it's
psychology
important to
inside.
it's important to say that not solve all the problems, also, and sometimes help us to find the questions we need to solve, right? We need to answer to discover why we work that way. But it help us. I think Lego Serious Play help us to find what is the main thing that we need to work on that team. What is the main problem we need to solve here? Like it's our communication. So how can we communicate better? It's our way to delegate. So let's find a way or a process to delegate better. And I think it helps people see how others think, And because of that, I can be more empathetic when I'm talking to you, because I know the way you think. I know the thing you value the most. So in the process to build psychological safety has 7 elements that we work with to build the psychological safety. And I can make one workshop to talk about the 7 elements, or I can make one workshop to work with the element that is important for this team the most.
Yeah.
So I think it helps that way.
What are these 7 elements?
The 7 elements, oh my gosh, it's let me see if I remember
Yeah.
from
Otherwise, we can put them
heart
always
here.
afterwards in the script, right? But
Oh, of course. Yes, I can put the whole process here, but it's how we deal with errors, how we work together in terms of process, and how we can communicate, how we can deal with problems in our teams when problems happen, what we do together, how we can deal with changes in our departments and our process, and how we can manage the conflicts that we have between us. Basically, we have maybe one less of
yeah,
this.
but all these things that you just call out now, it's super interesting because I sometimes hear people, yeah, but we are working in agile and it's all very specific. But these 7 things that you now described, all transcendent, and then agile is a way of working, but this is transcendent. It's above the. This is a part of everything. Yeah, what are your own motivating factors? What is like the intrinsic motivation of people? If you know that in your team, you can also outperform as a team. If you know what I always would say, if I know that this is a bruise, why do I keep sticking on it? I maybe do this arm, it works better, right? It's a metaphor from
Exactly.
that point of view. Yeah, and that's oh, I can imagine that that really works well for teams. You come from Brazil, you move to New York, you go there to companies, say, hey, I have something special to offer, and I bring Lego bricks. How do they react? Like, sorry, crazy woman, goodbye, or how do you make them embrace that they start playing with Lego? Because that's very often a challenge for new people in the market.
Totally. And also, if I'm being honest, it's still a challenge for me because I need to work on my selling skills, to talk more about my work, to talk more about my results. And for now, 80% of my work is still in Brazil. So it's more comfortable to work in Portuguese also. So I have
Claro.
more Brazilians that, yeah. So I have more Brazilians in the base than people that talk in English, that speak in English. But I'm growing this process because it's important people know what you do, and I think I'm getting better on making this, on talking about my work, and it's a still an ongoing process. And when I say that I work with Lego, constantly I need to repeat because people doesn't understand. People don't understand in the first like how it is work with Lego as a tool for development, as a tool for understand better who I am using Lego. So I often talk that I work with Lego Serious Play, and it's a tool for understand yourself better. But then people say how, and I need to explain using some bricks. So I always bringing bricks with me and telling let's build a duck,
Yeah.
to talk a little bit more about what we can learn about this process in 3 minutes and 5 minutes, and then later we can build a workshop about identity and talk about your identity. Oh my. We have
Always have a
our
duck close by.
that's it, because it help us to to help people understand better what we do. So it's but also I think people just understand what it is once they participate, once they have the experience, because it's a really deep connection and a really deep flow moment that we have when we are playing and we are having serious conversations about it, that I think once you have the experience, you can say, oh, now I know what is Lego serious play.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Hey, and you are already a while busy with Lego Serious Play. Um, could you take us through like your first experience as Lego Serious Play facilitator?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I also built a model for
Oh,
talking
really?
about this. Yes,
Yes, I love that when
to
people build
talk
models.
this about this experience. It was in some way really terrifying, because I was super excited once I had the certification, but I was also thinking, I was overwhelmed, because it's a lot. It's a method, it's a process, you need to plan. And I thought in the first that the bridge, it was too long and it was too big. And this is what it means to me to start the process. But once that I started, I have one mentoring process with Lego Serious Play and talked about identity. I remember some things that it was in the certification, and I forgot about it when I was planning, because I needed to have the control of the situation. And then I remember that the control wasn't everything about the process. I need presence. And the presence, it's here represented by the heart and the stars, because it's your mind being in that moment. And the most important thing, it was that you and as me here, being tired there,
Yeah,
like the ears really open, because the activity listening, it was the most important thing in the process.
yeah,
And people doesn't know what you're doing or planning, so it's okay if it is not the same way that you imagined before, or because it's not gonna be because you are dealing with another people. You don't know what can appears there.
yeah,
And then once I think I allowed myself to be present, I opened this door. And I opened this door, and I could access the real thing about the person. I could access their strengths. I could access their thoughts about the process, and also a lot of new things that I didn't even know what it was. And sometimes I say I kid that it's not therapy, but it could be really therapeutic for my clients, because they could have a lot of insights and bring that insights for therapy later to afterwards the process, because we are talking about career, and career is not something that I only do at my work. I a career, it's a whole new thing that's a whole thing that I am. It's
yeah.
not only what I do for work. So we talk about all of this in the process.
Yeah, because private and work will always be related somehow, as long as you are one person, right?
Yeah.
You cannot take them out of each other. Wow, it's very cool that bridge and the excitement that you feel for the first time. How is it now? How do you feel now when you do a workshop?
I still think it's a process to learn how to get rid of the control, or how to survive without the control,
Yeah,
because we are always thinking that we need to plan. And sometimes I think it's how can I be that light in the moment to make the right questions, and I have a model for this, that
yeah,
is that my clients have a lot of backpacks that they came with, and I need to be in the session this light for to open this bag and to find everything that they have inside, so I can change positions to illuminate another part of the process, so I can be here and see something that sometimes is hidden, sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's not easy to access. And I think it's a challenge thing to do, because sometimes people is not open to do that. People is not open to open all my bag, but they can go where they can go, and we are going together. They just can access what they are ready to access, and we can make this path together. So I think every workshop is that challenging in a new way, because I'm always finding something new, because every workshop is unique. And but I also learn about how can I be more present, how can I be more in the moment, listen more.
So when I was listening to you, it looked to me like very often clients ask for like, "Hey, can you show me what would be the solution?" And then I see that very often they have like somewhere a problem. This is like the problem, and what they do is all the time go deeper and deeper into the nitty gritty of the problem. So more on what I would call the primary process, like the content they're busy with. So they go down, while actually the solutions are often on a little bit higher place. And on a higher abstract level of thinking are the solutions. And I love the way you say, like, it really helps my clients also to look deeper into what is under the
Yeah.
surface, not per se deeper into the content, but what is also in your backpack, because sometimes our communication goes only about work, while it's the holistic part. And I really enjoy that part of Lego Series Play for me in the holistic part. And straight away, I can also imagine that for a lot of people, this calls out doubts or challenges. What are doubts and challenges that you struggle with doing Lego Serious Play?
I
Or
think
are there any doubts? Maybe there are not.
yeah, oh, of
Maybe
course, a lot. Like I was thinking, because it's a lot. How can I enumerate how much time we have?
we have all the time in the world, and otherwise we plan our next plot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of it's I really love work with groups, but now I work mostly with individuals. And I work with one specific workshop that is identity. I work a lot with identity, because I'm always talking about that individual process and their career process. So I think I got comfortable making one workshop. Oh my gosh, I can talk about identity for hours, but then I need to get used to connect with other topics. And every time I'm planning another experience with Lego Serious Play, and if it is for a group, I always thinking, oh, I need to learn more about working with groups, because I had some experience, but it's not the most experience, and I need to I can develop more this part, and also being brave to explore other topics, other workshops, because I know I can talk about psychological safety, but I I didn't use in a context of Lego Serious Play and a psychological safety yet. It's something that I'm designing right now. I also want to work with emotional intelligence and well-being, because it's one topic that I really talk about it. I have a lot of workshops, but not Lego Serious Play workshops, and I know I can connect the both of methods and the both topics together. And but I need to be brave to let's design a workshop with legacy plates to talk about emotional and intelligence.
Yeah.
And I think I need to to be brave to do that step, to give that jump.
Yes. So, and if you talk about these two topics, this emotional intelligence and this psychological safety, I was wondering, is it not already inside? Is it not baked in the Lego Series Play method?
It
So,
is.
are these two things not part of it? And oh, you say straight away it is. Can you explain this? How is it in? Because you know about these two topics as psychologist, but how is it built in the Lego Series Play method already?
It was beautiful when I was making the psychological safety certification because it was after Lego Serious Play certification. And every time someone talk a little bit about what is psychological safety, I was, oh my gosh, we have all of these in a Lego Serious Play session.
Yeah,
That it's people needs to be felt to be people need to feel heard and seen in a team. So if we are having the same time for sharing, the same time for showing our point of view, I can feel that I can trust in this group. And Lego Serious Play helps helps us to have this process because we have 100% of the people that it's in the room sharing and talking about their models and building and also sharing their part of solutions.
yeah, but that's that I'm wondering, if then everybody at once is share, or if that in that workshop of Lego Service Play, everybody is sharing. How safe is that you share?
It's because we don't judge, right? We don't judge what is your model. We have a safe space there because everything that we are having in this room, it's ours. It's shared in their space, in that space, in that moment, and everyone is gonna have one different side of view or shared views, but we are having this agreement at first.
Yeah,
What is important to take care of in this moment, and because of that, we have this like shared belief that we can together use this space to give our own opinions, that this the way I think is not gonna be judged for I'm not gonna be judged for who am I, and I can bring who I am for the workshop, for the process.
yeah. And what I always for myself find out is that the person that builds this maybe use gray and black and blue, and that's maybe here as well. They use white and blue and black, but still you can whatever you want. These are not the same models, and it's somehow for me it's also eliciting like, oh, I'm really curious. You built this as an answer, and you built that as an answer. Also, the participants are more curious to the models, and that makes it also a lot of less judgmental, I would say, because they're like looking for that, and sometimes I think it's like there's a third person at once in the room, or a third and a fourth and a fifth, because all these models are at the table, and they talk about the models instead of what, and that creates, I think, also a very big psychological safety to talk about, and indeed, what you said in the beginning of a workshop, you tell them, you ask a question, and today is the possibility to give as many different answers, because the difference of answers gives us insight, and that's really how we also build that psychological safety, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Without saying
it's
we are psychological safe. No, what is in this room
exactly,
stays in this room. No, it's a
exactly, yeah.
different path. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about the behavior than the what we talk about it, because it's more about a feeling. It's not something we can build talking about. It's like it's better to feel accept than say in a room, oh, you are accept. And once you start to talking, I'm making faces, and then because of that, I can't feel accepted. So it's a process that you build little by little, but also it's more about the behavior you have. And because of this agreement that we don't judge the person, we are talking about the models, but also the meaning is her. It's from the person who built. So the meaning is not mine. I can't say about your meaning that it's your model. It means another thing. The
Yeah.
meaning is yours.
Yeah.
It's what you can think of.
Mm.
So we value this that much that people can feel that they can be accept in the context.
So if you would go back and you just learned Lego Series Play and you start to facilitate your first course, what would be a tip that you would like to give to facilitators to, hey, remember, if you're going to do this, this is an important thing to do?
I think I think I have two. First, it's the thing that Robert is always saying all the time, like just build the F tower, because the process really help us to get deep in our questions. So I need to have this building part to get deep in what I need to do for after. But also, I got 6 months when I was certificating, not doing anything. I didn't use the do something soon because I was too afraid to not be 100% ready.
Yeah.
And little by little, I understood that I will never be 100% ready, because I'm always getting ready. I'm always transforming. I'm always learning. So that doesn't exist. Like being 100% ready doesn't exist. So don't wait to feel 100% ready.
Go and
Just
do it.
go and do it, and you're gonna learn in this process, and you're gonna get better in the next one, and you're gonna learn again, and this is forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and so for in the training like we provided, we have we always have this three pillars of training. The first part is the theory part. We do that in an e-learning. You have to do that before you come to the 4 days training, because then we practice to facilitate. And what I really like what you say, and I think is that because of that we changed this in our program. After this 4 days, we make sure that you practice already something that you would like to do with your own people at home. And that's what I would call the integration to Agile, or in your case, it would be something different. But within 6 weeks of this 4 days, we have a moment that we come back together again in an online setting, and we talk about your first workshop. So there's like a push that you need to have done your first workshop in real life, because that is the part to learn. And then 6 weeks later, we have an online session again to talk about your second one, because it is indeed doing it, and that will make the transformation in, okay, I cognitively understand it, and and I would always say, I did some psychological studies, and then people say, "Oh, you're doing tricks with me," and I'm like, and I found out later it was a trick until I incorporated, until I made it my own. Then it was not a trick anymore. It was like, as a Dutch person learning to ride the bike, it was a trick to focus far away on the street to be able to drive straight. And now, if I sit on the bike, I just can drive straight because it's incorporated. And I think Lego Series Play is a facilitation you also somehow need to incorporate, to make it your own. It's like psychology. You learn in your study to ask clever questions. Until you start doing it, then you have to make them your own, right?
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. And this part about having the following up process with people who is certificating, it's really beautiful because I I thought that if I had like a pressure element, I need to have practicing, and
Yeah,
I need to following up. I maybe I could make it fast because it's gonna be a journey, and for start a journey, you need to start. Like we need to do something to start the journey, and the soon you do, the soon you feel a little bit more ready to your next steps.
true, true. Oh, thank you so much for taking the time, and 45 minutes is flying away like unbelievable fast. I could sit and talk all day with you on this topic, and I'm really curious still to identity. As you said, you could talk so much about it. I'm really curious how that would work, but that is all for a later vlog. What is something that you want to share still with us? Otherwise, we cannot have a good night's sleep. What is something
No.
you want to tell us still? What do you want to give us?
um, I think it's always amazing to talk about Lego Serious Play because I think it's a method that transformed the way I work and also transformed the way people see themselves when I work with the identity process. So I'm always really happy to talk about it, and I'm really happy to see the transforming process that people enter when we start a workshop. And I think it can get deep as you want to get deep. It can be um, as meaningful as you can bring your imagination to the process also, and you can learn a lot from it if you are trainer, if you were a participant of the workshop of Lego in Lego Serious Play process. So I think it's just be grateful that I did this process, that I followed this dream to work with Lego Serious Play because it was something that I built in the past, and also to have the opportunity to work with more people because I want to have this experience to work more with groups, and I'm pursuing this. So it's to stick to the plan and believe in the process that I need to have right now. And thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here and share a little bit of what I do.
Obrigado. Thank you
You
so
have
much.
such a great accent in Portuguese. It's so beautiful.
Obrigado. Oh, you make me all shy. Thank you so much. Thank you for the people who are watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Log in, and we see you next time.